everyone, it's Brenda Riches from RunPerfect.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how going barefoot boosts circulation in the feet, which translates into sustainable foot strength, putting an end to achy, weak, crippled feet. Going barefoot really does live up to what it's supposed to do, and that is it directly and immediately accelerates foot strength better than any running shoe can do. Unfortunately, however, when it comes to sore feet, many people have been doing the wrong thing in that most people wear incredibly stiff, cushioned, narrow, arch supportive running shoes, which remodels the feet and plays into poor foot strength and function. This is why traditional running shoes used as the first line of treatment of poor foot function and strength is risky, because in these shoes, the infrastructure of the foot becomes progressively weak, leading to widespread atrophy or withering away of the foot muscles and soft tissues within the foot, which trigger achy feeling feet and deep muscle pain within the foot. Not to mention, it's provable that you end up with weaker feet the more you wear traditional cushion running shoes. Again, because motion control, arch supportive, stiffly structured running shoes fundamentally undermines natural foot function, thereby changing the architecture of foot muscles. And even more important, and this is what really goes underappreciated, is that traditional running shoes leads to weaker feet by changing the activity pattern of the foot nerves in every measure. So let me make this very clear that the traditional running shoe really tears at the proper function of the feet by causing nerve function abnormalities in the foot, and weak, poorly functioning foot muscles may be a consequential byproduct of that. And here's why. The nerves that line the bottom of the feet are essentially the fundamental force that holds foot strength together and dictates and mediates overall foot strength. And these nerves play an integral part of stimulating stronger foot muscles. This is the role barefoot running plays in providing the natural resources in terms of sensory energy or sensory input that feeds your feet, and positive developments in foot strength will come out of barefooting. Because when you're barefoot outdoors, one of the signatures of being barefoot outdoors is the tremendous level of sensory processing in the nerves in the sole of the feet, whereby the excitability or activity level of these nerves can either increase or decrease blood flow to surrounding tissues and muscles within the foot. What this means is that the activity of the nerves that line the bottom of the foot regulates blood flow to deeper tissues, allowing them to receive nourishing blood. But the key is that barefooting is of special importance because the research is filled with many concrete examples of how the nerves in the bottom of the feet are most activated when you're barefoot. Therefore, when you go barefoot, the ongoing sensory assistance helps you have more blood delivered to the soft tissues and muscles in the foot, thereby creating conditions for sustainable growth in foot strength and function. It turns out, however, your foot strength is very limited by your footwear. Certain footwear, I'm actually referring to the traditional running shoe more so than minimalist / barefoot running shoes. How the traditional running shoe robs the foot of its strength is that in these shoes, the nerves that line the bottom of the feet are sitting quietly, waiting to detect the sensory input that they're normally and naturally thirsty for. And this is where poor foot strength stems from, is the excessive impairment in nerve processing, and the lack of nerve excitability fails to fully serve the muscles and tendons with oxygen-rich and nutrient-rich blood that is so necessary for proper foot strength and function. In traditional running shoes, since there's less sensory exchange and nerve activation, could cause inappropriate opening or closing of blood vessels, which could rob the deep muscle tissues within the foot of proper blood flow and nourishment. For the moment, this is how foot problems may arise in traditional running shoes, simply because the nerves that line the soles of the feet are underactive, which alters or hinders blood circulation, leaving the muscles in the feet deprived of energizing oxygen-rich blood. This is why going barefoot more often is such a constructive force, because it boosts nerve and blood vessel engagement, which has a strong muscle strengthening component that cannot be matched by the traditional running shoe, which taints nerve activity, causing a blizzard of problems within the foot ankle complex. But by increasing your outdoor barefoot activity, certainly allows the sensory input window to be widely open to get the foot muscles more engaged in a more healthy way than being in cushioned running shoes, which essentially creates a physiological atmosphere of diminished nerve activity that would sequence under-engaged, underactive foot muscles, leading to a collection of foot pain and discomfort. So that's really the meat behind how the nerves in the feet are really the true spark that brings a lot of strength and vitality to the foot muscles on many fronts. For more information on barefoot running versus running in shoes or shod running, please visit my blog, runforfoot.com, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date on the proper biomechanics of running. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads. Bye for now.